get acquainted time. How'd that feel, baritone? So?
That's all right. I need to keep you about 10 times.
Well, that's what we're going to do, yeah. We're going to practice it one more time, or a couple more times.
Where's this pitch to?
Pardon?
Where's this pitch to?
Well, it's in a B flat. You want to put it up a little bit?
Yeah, I was going to say, make it ring a little bit or something.
Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay, is everybody comfortable with that now? You want to try a couple more times? Because I now want to do something else. I mean, not a different tag, but I want to do stuff to this
Do
tag.
we end on the 3rd on that chord, or are we ending in the 5th? On the last note?
Yeah, you're on the 5th.
On the last note? Okay, thank you.
Your last note is the 5th.
I was wondering if I need to sing a little shorter there.
Okay. Hold it. That your chord is not. Right, let me hear the leads. Dry your... Okay, that's all right. Now let me hear the baritone. Who'll dry your tears? There's the guys. We bragged about them before, about how great they were. Who'll dry your tears? The leads and well, it's 4 parts. Go. Instead of just singing words and notes, we're pretty comfortable with this now. Now we're going to try. Who'll dry your tears when I'm in that tempo. Gone. And then baritones are going to sing. Who'll dry your tears when I'm... Instead of who'll dry your tears when I'm gone. We want to get away from that, okay? So we'll try a little bit of. We're going to move this thing now. Dry your tears when I'm... And without taking any breathes in there, all right?
Okay.
One complete breathe. Here we go. Dry your tears when I'm gone. Yeah, you've got to move that baritones, okay? And you guys were a little bit draggy there, so we'll try one more time. Let's keep this thing, keep it rolling.
I think, Joe, that the baritones want to milk them there.
I know, well, we're going to change that bad habit you have. We're going to move it down.
We like to hang them out.
Dry your tears. But you're behind me. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? That's what we want to do. We want to move it. So don't drag on me. Here we go. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay?
All right.
Let's get 4 up here. Who wants to do that?
God, that's pretty
Sure. Get up there. You want to do it? Now we know the words and everything, but think of the words here. What's the guy saying? He says, "Hey," the gal's kicking him out. She said, "Go, leave." But he says, "Who's going to dry your tears when I'm gone?" You better think again. Okay. Put a little heart in it.
Really happy.
I don't have the chord yet.
Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay, now you speed it up. Yet they did a good job. Give them a hand there.
Yeah, all right.
But you sang quickly because I said sing quickly. Okay, which is all right. But now put a little heart into
Gonna
quickliness.
sell it this time.
I think I just invented a word. Quickliness, is that a word? Put a little. Who'll dry your tears? Okay, yeah,
I'd
let
start
that
with
in.
pitch.
That's great. Ooh, who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay. Tag Quartet. Who wants to get in here? Tag Quartet. Okay.
Start a tank.
You guys, hey, stay up there. You guys started the tag.
Ooh, that was
Hey, I
fun.
like that.
I could sing tags all night.
I don't go for tags too much.
We know a good
There's the
tag.
bass. There's our bass.
We know a good
There
tag.
we go.
Oh, yeah. Bundle, please. That song for our chorus.
Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay, now let's sing. That was quick, but let's put a little heart in it, and let's sing. Who'll dry your tears? Who'll dry your tears? Not who'll dry your tears. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? What happened to my finger on the juice here? Who'll dry your tears? Sing it this way. Who'll dry your tears? Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Okay? Let's see if we can do it that way. Follow the lead now, you guys. Who'll dry your tears? Okay, but don't punch it. Okay? Who'll dry your tears? And give them a chance to get their notes before you get rocking. Who'll go. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? One more time for the bass. Who'll dry your tears? Let him get his note hitch. Don't punch it now. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Dry your tears when I'm gone. Okay. Lesson number 1. When you got a milking baritone over here, you got to get a good gutful because
He'll leave you hanging.
Irish tenor over there.
Barry, hang on. Dry.
You need to pump him up a little bit.
Okay, anybody else want to get up here and do it?
That's fun.
Baritone?
Oh, here.
No, go on.
That's you're there.
Now I'm a tenor.
Oh, here's the tenor, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's the idea.
What do you take?
Ooh, dry your tears.
Yeah.
Ooh, dry your tears when I'm gone. Dry those tears when I'm gone. Okay, now, Mr. Lead, sing with your mouth open rather than. Ooh, dry your tears. Okay. Yeah, you need to work at the
See, what was Moon say? Taste the words. Well, we want to hear you. Okay? We need to hear you.
Would you know? Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Dry the tears when I'm gone. Okay?
Yeah. Boy, it makes a difference when he opens his mouth.
baritone. You're up.
No, I don't know it well enough.
Okay.
Sorry.
That never stopped anybody else. I thought you were gonna say it never stopped him before.
What's this bashful?
No, I don't know that well enough.
Which part? Lead. Baritone.
Well, I'll sing you the baritone or bass. Baritone or bass?
I guess I'm baritone.
All right.
I love it.
No. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone? Dry your tears when I'm gone.
Yeah. I see the baritone.
Oh, now he's gonna do the other.
You, weren't you singing bass before?
No, I wasn't. Well, no, I have none.
All right, well, you're gonna sing bass?
Yeah.
Okay, you've been tagged out. Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone?
Now I've got that at the same time. You all arrived at the same time, that was nice.
Well, do you want to do anything else on that sheet, or what do you want to do? Or?
Can we woodshed something?
Sure, what do you want to do?
Oh, I don't know, you sing something we don't know, how about that? Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard.
I'm trying to think of this old song, but what do you want me to do? Sing the lead and you guys all sing the other parts? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's
The
fun.
epitome of woodshed.
Yeah,
Like
one
time
guy
in your
knows the
apron
song.
strings again or something.
yeah, well,
Somebody does need to know a tune, though, I think.
Well, the lead.
it's tough to do because this is a song that can't think of.
How about
About
dear
singing
old
a
Daddy
song that
Home?
everybody knows.
Yeah, well, let's sing something everybody knows because that's tough to.
The old Quartet.
What do you mean, everybody knows that?
A lot of people do, don't they?
What do you want to sing? A polecat?
Okay.
Well, we're safe with the polecat because I know those.
Okay.
Not a little else.
Somebody make a suggestion.
Learn more songs.
It's been so long that I.
Yeah. Down our way, you
Polecats, I
sing
can't-
the lead.
Okay. Is that a B-flat song?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Want to do the pattern?
Down our way, both night and day, you know everybody and they all know you, and even policemen say, how do you do? Pals by the score and gals galore, and that old gang of mine, they sang Sweet Adeline down our way, down our way. Who suggested I sing lead? Okay, what do you want to do?
Let's do that. I'll sing the pattern. Is it
Okay.
the pattern?
Yeah, do it.
Sure. Gonna get up here in front and
Come on, Alan.
Yeah, get up.
So
now.
just start from the beginning and hold down, and then do the backup chord, and then I'll sing the pattern while everybody hums the
Okay,
method, okay?
all right, that's fine. So now the thinking here is that we're gonna sing this through once, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then when we come
See
in
what I'd
now,
like?
you want us to hum?
Back
Yeah.
off on two.
Okay, we'll hum or let's loop. Let's loop.
Ooh, whatever you think it should be going. Should be done.
Yeah, and we have to be quiet because now he's the star, right? Here we go. Down our way, both night and day. You know everybody and they all know you. And even policemen say, how do you do? Pals by the score and gals galore. And that old gang of mine, they sang Sweet Adeline down our way.
Oh, gee, but I wish that I could wander through the field of clover and the new mown hay and go strolling down a dusty path amidst the beautiful flowers that bloom in May. And on a Saturday night I go a-courting with the girly teeth of bright and silvery blue. And on my way to Sunday morning people say, how do you do? I'd love to sit once more in pretty yarn with all the boys down at the corner grocery store. I can almost see that good luck horseshoe hanging up above the Billy Smithy's door. And that old gang of mine, they sang Sweet Adeline. How'd you like to come along with me and wander down our way? All right.
Well, okay, let's wrap up. And so what do we talk about tonight? We talk about proper support from here. We talked about voice placement, consistent voice placement, so that you don't switch back and forth from a dark sound in the back of your throat to a forward sound. That happens usually on the higher notes. The higher notes, they're easier to sing forward, and so sometimes we swallow that, the lower notes. What else did we talk about?
Vowels.
Vowel sounds, matching vowel sounds, and
Vowel shapes.
vowel shapes, right? Mouth shapes. Keep the lips open, flared, loose. Show your teeth. What else?
Balance.
Balance. We talked about balance, right? The proper relationships. I was going to say something. I can't remember who it was up here that was singing, but it was really. They did it really nice. Anyway, what did you say?
Phrase ends.
Phrase endings, right? Giving the full value to the notes.
Not making
Boy, that's not easy to do.
And here's the thing. Down our. It's not down our way.
Yeah.
Down our way.
Pronouncing all the vowels. Yeah, pronunciation of the vowels.
Right. Another thing that as singers we need to be aware of, especially barbershop singers, is that when you're singing like I'm, a singable consonant, I'm, you need to have more energy on the M portion, because it's the vowel sound. You can sing I'm, but as soon as you close off the volume and the energy goes down because of the nature of the vowel, of the sound. So you need to I'm, okay, to make it consistent, so that it doesn't sound like all of a sudden somebody turned the volume down. So anyway, what else?
I would like to see your interpretation of this, what you mean in supporting sound, your explanation. I hear it, but I don't understand.
Supporting sound?
Yeah, he said support.
Well, you breathe, you drop your, in other words, to get the support, you need to drop the diaphragm,
I get it.
okay? So that you can do that well, I can
All
see.
right, I can do that.
Yeah, you can put that up. And then you control it as you expel the air. You control it down here and leave the throat open, and continue to constrict this or move that diaphragm muscle so that you can support the sound.
Too many people do that.
do many, not too many, some, but that's the proper way to do it so that you don't try to control the sound up here, because if you do that, you wipe out.
Or go and change
Yeah.
the shape of your chest, which changes the tone.
Well, yeah, that's improper breathing. I mean, doing this, you see guys take breath. That's incorrect because it does nothing. It's just moving the shoulders rather than. And you need to, as you take the breath, you need to lift too. I mean,
Yeah, you lift this.
but then you lift. Now, you put your hand right here, where at the bottom of the breastbone, above the, what do they call this bone here?
Coccyx.
The
Sternum.
sternum, right. Anyway, and put it there and then say,
Back in the
ha, 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 ha. And that-
Stan Sharp's favorite
Yeah,
exercise.
well, yeah, and many others, but that should be support, that should be tight when you're controlling.
Years ago, when I was in the chorus down in Los Angeles, this guy said you're not full till you spread your back ribs.
Yes, well,
And
yes.
it is
yes.
true that if you fill your lungs to capacity, you actually feel there's an
Right.
expansion in
Your
the back.
ribs move, if you hold and you're doing it properly, why, you'll feel your ribs expand in the back here.
They
Anyway.
even brought in a medical tool called a rib expander. And it taught us the lesson.
Did that answer what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I got a suggestion that our choir teacher uses all the time. She said you stand up and you put your thumb on your sternum and extend your little finger down and pretend that's a plate and it's very breakable. And then she said, when you sit down, you sit down so that you do not crush the plate. And when
Right.
you sing, you keep placing in mind that that plate's got to come in and out with the need without breaking it. And you'd be surprised what a difference in sound that choir has.
Well, maybe you want to do that to get in the habit of whenever you're singing and rehearsing or whatever, hopefully not on stage, but to use that. So that'll be a thing to remember, to jog your memory, to continue to breathe. If you keep your hand there all the time, eventually you'll figure out that there's a reason your hand to be there, and you'll continue to do that. A way to get out of the old habit.
Okay, placement, forward placement. What's the feeling for that? Or how do you get the feeling?
Well, I can't tell you what to do with your voice as to how to do it, but you have to have an openness.
What are you doing there to do that?
Well, I'm moving the soft palate in the back. For one thing, I guess in theory you don't move the tongue because the tongue is, but you need that. I'm closing the palate off as I get.
Are you
teeny.
bringing it forward?
Well, you were using the term forward, but I don't know that you can physically move something forward in your head. This is strictly a mental concept to, here.
But there are certain kind of little muscles sometimes that if you find out just for yourself, kind of like what you move around to get the thing to do that.
Right.
You, like Moon was, what's his first name?
Earl.
Earl was saying, I'll try it differently, and then, yeah, that's better because I know that's what I've been really working on is trying not to be too dark, and that's.
Yeah, another thing is that these muscles here under the chin, the jaw, shouldn't be tight and tense either when you're singing. That you shouldn't feel any tightness there. So
I tend to feel a little tight like that.
yeah, and we all have little habits that we learn to talk how we learn to talk, and some of those habits carry over into our singing. And so, but you just you need the basics to sing well. We can all get by singing in the corner for our own amazement, but if you're going to go out in the public, you need to learn some basics. It's like anything else. You just do a better job. Okay. Anything else?
I would suggest that we have to do more listening when we're singing, particularly in the quartet.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's really true.
we have a tendency to, as I said earlier, to sing chords. And
get
so
your own
it becomes kind of choppy, and it's like we did with this tag. We learned it, and it was, "Who'll dry your tears when I'm gone," because we're learning words and we're learning notes. And now all of a sudden, when you put a little bit of interpretation to it, and why it becomes better.
Can the average quartet, though, in phrasing things and the speeds and the way you treat that, similar to what you just explained, is the average quartet capable of doing that, or you're supposed to get somebody to listen to you and maybe feed that to you so you know? Is that born in you? I don't know.
No, well, I think that the quartet, ideally, if you sit down and well, let's say you analyze a song. We're going to learn this song, whatever it is. Mary, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. What's the story? Who's telling the story? Have a mental concept of what the composer was trying to do. Okay, and so what's the mood on this first phrase? Is it happy? Is it sad? What is it? And now, how can we portray that feeling vocally or visually, or a combination of them?
But you got 4 guys.
Well, that's right.
So you're gonna have 4 different opinions.
Not necessarily. If you decide, let's take Mary just for instance. How old is Mary? What color's her hair? Is she wearing a blue dress, a red dress? Is she walking down
Think it out and plan it out. Is that
Right.
what you're
So
saying?
you talk it over and you say, look, let's decide that this is, well, I don't see it that way. I see it another way. Well, okay, let's try this way and see if we can all do it. And if we don't like it, try it another way. Now, there's a song, in the shade of the old apple tree, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Worked with a quartet one time, and we're getting conflicting emotions there. And so I asked the question, well, what do you think the message here? What's happening? Well, obviously, she's dead. I mean, she waited for him, and he never came back, and she died, but she promised him that she would wait beneath the shade of the old apple tree, and that's where she was buried. So that's his concept. And the other guy said, what are you talking about? No, she's waiting there for him. She goes and she's waiting for her lover to come back or whatever. The first guy knew the second verse, where she went to the priest or the preacher and said, I promised him, and so please see that I'm buried there. So there was 2 different things, and so they weren't working as a team selling this message. One guy is he's feeling kind of down because this gal's dead, and the other guy's seeing her standing there with the sun shining in her hair, and it's in turn. So that, if you do that, if you analyze a song and agree on it, even if somebody has to bend a little bit, especially if you have the history of the song, if you can, if you want to go that far. But then you can say, well, gee, the words here say, I'm so sorry that you left. It's like, Sweet and Lovely, Now you get to the tag, and nobody ever sings that sweet, because the chords say, belt that sucker out, see? But you have a conflict there with the way the music is written and the words.
Yeah.
So really the words are inappropriate to the arrangement or vice versa. But we never take the time to think about that. I had a neat experience at the district contest. Standing room only was singing it at the Afterglow, and they sang, somebody stole my gal, somebody stole my pal, instead of somebody stole my gal. Boy, am I happy.
Made all the difference in the world.
Right, and so it's an entirely different concept, and all of a sudden it became this beautiful story.
Starting to listen.
And then they made they went to a medley of, but I'll take her back if she wants to come back, the girl that was stolen from me. And then they segue back into the tag of, so an entirely different approach to.
Probably entirely different. Anybody probably heard it sung.
Right, but they took the time to say, well, wait a minute. What's the mood of this guy? If he's happy about it, then we need to approach it a different way than if he's really sad. So that's, to answer your question then, you need to sit down and analyze a song and say, well, do we pick up the speed here because it gets exciting, or, you know?
Back off. And,
Joe, that reminds me of another song that's sung in conflict with the actual sense of it. Maybe Won't You Please Come Home is a blues song, but it's not sung that way.
Yeah. Well, there are many that way, but... Find the girl on my mind,
The one who is my ideal.
maybe she's a dream,
And
yet she might be just around the corner, waiting for me. Will I recognize the light in her eyes
that
all other eyes reveal?
or
Will I pass her
by
and never even know that she
is
my ideal, my ideal. Yeah. I didn't hear it last month, but, you know, that was pretty good. You've got some things that you can probably still work on. You got some vowels to match, and we got a bass over here with that needs to practice in front of the mirror with that. Some support problems in there where we're quite tuned up properly.
It's a terrific song.
It is, yes.
That was better than last time, Bert.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up.
Joe, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next month, Nick Papa George. I don't know what he's going to do, but we'll see. Nick's been in a lot of good quartets, a lot of district. He's been in a couple of district champion quartets, I think.
Yeah.
And he goes back a ways. Came out of the Whittier chapter. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring your friends. Let's see if we can make double next month, okay?
Bring out the Whittier guys.
We're trying. I missed the last couple of weeks because I was gone on a trip.
Don't forget to fill out those questionnaires that,
Yes. Questionnaires, please.
I'll try to take one.
Yeah, if you haven't,
One that came in the mail, right?
yeah, you got this the very first time you got a packet, and that was with it. So if you haven't filled it out, I have some in there. You can take them and fill them out and send them right back, like in the next week if possible.
Good.
Okay.
Let me put in a little commercial here, if I may. The Masters of Harmony are putting on a Christmas show on the 27th of November at La Mirada, a matinee and an evening thing. And tickets are going quite well, so if you want to come and hear some Christmas music, why?
Pick them up quick.
That's that's
I have some more.
La Mirada.
La Mirada.
That's right.
That's a nice place.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
And if everybody could kind of pick their chair up, fold it up, take it
Yeah.
over there.